Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Scott Neal. I'm the city manager in Edina, and it's my distinct pleasure to be able to welcome you to our 2025 State of the Community. Yes. This year's State of the Community event is co-sponsored by the Edina Chamber of Commerce, the Rotary Club of Edina, and the Rotary Club of Edina Morningside. Without your participation and sponsorship, this event would not be possible, so thank you for being there. Thank you for doing that. Before we hear from our esteemed speakers on mental health and community building initiatives, we want to take some time here to share some city and school district updates with you through a game of trivia. We're going to play for 25 minutes or until the board is cleared, whichever is first. We're going to play a game of Jeopardy.
There you go.
Cut. Thank you. That's the game. So let me introduce you to today's contestants. The first, and they're in the audience, and they're going to run up here just like Price is Right, I think. The first contestant is a lifelong Edina resident, Paul Moody. Paul is a partner and serves as vice chairman of Faribault Woolen Mill Company. The mill is one of the last fully integrated mills in the United States that produces woolen goods from raw fiber from sheep to blanket, I guess, right?
That's correct.
All right. The goods are beautiful. Lots of people know about Faribault Woolen Mills for sure. And it's a true made in America product. Welcome, Paul Moody.
Thank you.
Our next contestant is an executive level operations and engineering professional, Bokar Kane. Bokar is the president of the Rotary Club of Edina Morningside and president and CEO of AMCAS Safety. And we're happy that his name isn't also Paul. That makes us.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you. And finally, we have another Paul. This one we'll call St. Paul Peterson. Paul is the president of the Rotary Club of Edina, and Paul was discovered when he was a 17-year-old youngster by a guy named Prince. Prince enlisted him as a keyboard player and professional in The Time for the movie Purple Rain. Paul took the lead vocalist spot in the Prince-produced group The Family before becoming a solo artist and touring with his band, St. Paul and the Minneapolis Funk All-Stars.
That's true.
You heard it. Okay. And now that we've got all our contestants here, I'm your host. Let's start with our first category for 100 public safety. Construction of this facility is underway on West 76th Street to provide emergency services to the southeast quadrant of Edina. St. Paul Peterson.
What is Fire Station 2?
Fire Station 2 is correct. Way to go. So, Paul, you know how Jeopardy works?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. Why don't you have control of the board so you can pick any question you want.
Let's go Edina Public Schools for 100.
Edina Public Schools for 100. This school will send 2025 graduates to Harvard, the University of Pennsylvania, Dartmouth, Northwestern, and Duke this fall. Paul Moody.
What is Edina High School?
What is Edina High School is the correct answer.
Don't get up. Stay seated.
Paul Moody, you control the board.
Oh, I sure do. Let's do development for 200.
Development for 200 is this. The former Marriott Residence Inn on Edinburgh Way is being converted into these. Oh, we had a Bokar.
Affordable housing?
No.
Okay.
Paul Peterson.
What is an apartment complex?
Apartments, that is correct answer. I'm looking at, we have judges here, professional judges, and they were nodding. Paul Peterson, board is yours. Where do you want to go?
Let's go development for 300.
Development for 300. This development, located at 7250 France Avenue, had a groundbreaking ceremony last week for its first phase, which will include a 5-story office building and a coffee shop. What is the name of that development?
What is the Craftsman?
What is the Craftsman is the correct answer. Correct answer. Paul Moody. Paul Moody, you control the board. Where do you want to go?
Let's go Dr. Stacie Stanley for 500.
Dr. Stacie Stanley for 500. He's going big. This is Dr. Stanley's favorite title. St. Paul.
What is Nana?
Yeah. Float. Yes, we'll give that to you. Nanny. Nanny.
Nene?
Mine is Grandpa. So there you go. All right. $500. Congratulations. You control the board.
Parks and Rec for 500.
Parks and Rec for 500. This sculpture of a gray heron was donated by Dennis Schulstead and installed at Centennial Lakes Park last fall.
Okay, you go ahead.
No, that's not how this works. I decide who answers the question. What do you call it?
Actually, I don't know the name.
St. Paul Peterson.
What is stealth?
What is stealth is the correct answer. All right, St. Paul, you control the board.
Parks and Rec for 400,
Parks
please.
and Rec for 400. The first mountain biking trails in Edina opened in this park in 2024. No audience participation here. Who rang that bell first?
That's me.
Bo Carpine.
Bremer.
Braemar Park is correct. Congratulations. You control the board. Bokar, what do you choose?
I'm gonna go for development 500.
Development for 500.
Yep.
This Twin Cities company is considering redeveloping 5100 Eaton Avenue with a new office building that would house its corporate headquarters. Bokar.
Opus.
Who is Opus is the correct answer. You're on a roll, Bokar. Where do you want to go?
I'm gonna go for 500. Public safety.
Public safety for 500. This is probably a really difficult question. Public safety for 500. This set of actions and shared language is a protocol enacted to respond to emergencies in schools and includes terms such as hold and secure. Who rang that?
I think I did ring, but you gotta finish this question.
I'm done. That's it.
Okay, it's a standard shared protocol. Standard.
Judge said no. Paul Moody?
What is the standard response protocol?
Standard response protocol is correct. That's correct. Paul Moody. Where do you want to go, Paul?
Let's see here. Let's go Edina Public Schools for 500.
Edina Public Schools for 500. This number of summer camp registrations, community education, received in the first hour of opening this year. How many? Yes. Who? Okay, stop that. Who was first? Paul, were you first?
No, you did it wrong. It's mine.
All right, judges.
Between 4,999 and 5,001.
Sorry, that's not correct. Paul Moody.
All right, what is 5,000?
No, that's not correct either. It's left to you. St. Paul, you have...
That is the answer. No?
No? Well, what, he said what?
He said 5,000.
No, that's not the number I have.
So do we get to go again?
What is 5,001?
No, 4,500. 4,500.
Bad information.
You guys can't even cheat right. All right. Who called that? Is it who?
Give it to Mute.
Paul Moody. Where do you want to go?
Let's go.
Public safety for 400.
Public safety for 400. For 400. This exercise is one where the school district staff and first responders simulate an emergency and their response.
Oh, crap. I don't know.
He doesn't know. Paul Peterson, do you know?
Standard response protocol.
That is. No, that's not right either. You're reading your cheat sheet from a previous question. Right. All right. Bokar Kane,
If you're allowed to cheat, I'll help you.
you're not allowed to cheat.
Okay, so there you go.
Oh, wait, I guess you are.
I got it right here. What is it? So, standard response protocol.
That is also not correct.
That That tells you how honest we are.
This
We can
is,
see.
the correct answer is, what is a tabletop exercise? What is a tabletop exercise? All right. Bokar, I'm giving you control of the board. Where do
Thank you.
wanna go?
Development 400.
Development for 400. All right, here we go. Development for 400. This is the name of the only new apartment building currently under construction in Edina. Mr. Paul Peterson.
What is the Finch?
What is the Finch? That is correct. You control the board, Paul Peterson. Where do you want to go?
Edina Public Schools for 400.
Edina Public Schools for 400. For 400. This is the number of state championship titles held by Edina High School, more than any other school in the state of Minnesota. Who was first ringing?
He was.
Bokar.
7.
207 is correct. That's the current number. It could be much more than that, maybe just months. Right?
It's a good start.
You control the board.
Okay, I'll go with Dr. Stanley 400.
Dr. Stanley for 400? Yes. For 400. Recovering from pandemic learning loss, implementation of the comprehensive literacy plan, expansion of uniform programming, and the Spanish dual language program. Paul Peterson?
What are Dr. Stanley's initiatives?
Judges? No. Paul Moody.
That was going to be my answer, so.
Bokar.
Bokar.
So what are Dr. Stanley's initiatives?
Something funny is going on here. The answer is, what are the areas of leadership that Dr. Stanley is most proud of during her tenure? That's the right answer, right? That's the right answer. She says that.
I think that's mine.
Yeah, okay. I give him the points. I'm not the judge here. All right. You.
Me?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, let's go again. Dr. Stanley 300.
Dr. Stanley for 300. Superintendent student leadership teams, key communicators network, continuous school improvement planning, and strategic plan monitoring and culturally proficient school systems.
What are initiatives implemented by Dr. Stanley?
That is correct. We will accept that. We will accept that. Okay.
Parks and Rec for 300,000, please.
For Paul Peterson says Parks and Rec for 300,000. That's not an amount that we have, but for 300, a new Hennepin County library will include spaces for this City of Edina recreation facility. St. Paul Peterson.
What is speed skating?
That is incorrect. Who else wants to take a stab at this? Mr. Paul Moody.
What is the art center?
That is correct. That is correct. Paul Moody, you control the board.
Let's see here. Let's do public safety for 300.
Public safety for 300. This space opened at the Southdale Center in 2024 and is staffed by 2 retail crime investigators. I think it's you. Yeah.
What is a Edina Police Substation?
That is correct. A Edina Police Substation in the mall. Congratulations. Paul, you have control of the board.
Edina Public Schools for 300.
Edina Public Schools for 300. This school is nationally recognized by Special Olympics for its unified programming. Paul Mooney.
What is Southview Middle School?
That is correct. We're in a very tight match here, folks. A very tight match.
All right, I'm going to do, let's go clear off public safety for 200.
Public safety for 200. This notification system you guys, hold on. This notification system allows police and fire staff to send alerts on public safety incidents throughout the city. Who was first? Paul Moody, you were first?
Yeah, of course it was.
What is it called?
What is Smart 911?
Smart 911. That is correct. That is correct. That's good. Andrew, that's correct, right? Chief, yeah? Okay, good.
Let's do,
Dr. Stacie Stanley for 200.
Dr. Stacie Stanley for 200. Dr. Stanley considered a career in accounting, but decided not to pursue it because of this characteristic. St. Paul Peterson.
What is speed skating?
That is incorrect. Next, who else wants to take a crack at this? There she is right there. Thought about being an accountant, but said no. Why?
Why, man? Why?
No. Too early. The correct answer is because she is way too chatty. She is way too chatty to be an accountant. Right. It's true. It's good though.
All right, let's.
Parks and Recs for 200.
Parks and Recreation for 200. Earthwork will begin this year on the construction of this park on land that once served as a par 3 golf course.
What is the Fred Richards
What
Golf
is the
Course?
Fred Richards Park? That is correct. Way to go. All right. Paul Peterson, you control the board.
Parks and Rec for 100, please.
Parks and Rec for 100. More than $45 million in improvements to this recreation facility will be paid for with local sales and use tax. Who's first? Who was first?
Not me.
Bokar. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Paul, were you first?
Yeah, you go.
Okay.
So that's the Bremer, the Bremer Arena.
Brainer Arena is correct. Way to go. That's good. All right. Bokar, you have control of the board.
Development for 100.
Development for 100. No. In 2024, the city approved an ordinance allowing this type of dwelling on properties with single-family homes. Okay. Bokar.
So ADUs.
ADUs is correct.
What does that stand for?
It stands for accessory dwelling units. Accessory dwelling units. All right, we have 2 questions left. Bokar, I think you control the board. Which one do you
Dr. Stanley for 100.
Dr. Stacie Stanley for 100. This was Dr. Stanley's original career path. Paul Moody.
What is it, accountant?
No. She just told you that she didn't want to do that. Okay. St. Paul Peterson.
What is a speed skater?
What is a speed skater is also incorrect. Bokar Kane.
Okay, let me do this. Dr. Stanley, help.
Is that good? Accountant?
Teaching. He says teaching. What is an occupational therapist?
Occupational therapist. Is that what
I
you
would
said?
have. No,
No,
I got
okay,
it.
okay. Sorry, nobody wins for that. No points. It is still your board. You don't have many options left, but which one do you want? All right. Edina Public Schools for 200. This exclusive partnership between the Rotary Club of Edina, Edina High School, and the Edina Education Fund provides travel-based learning opportunities in countries such as Morocco, Portugal, and the Galapagos Islands.
Global scholars.
That is correct, the Global Scholars. All right, everybody. So here's where we are. We are done with our questions. We still have time for Final Jeopardy, right? Okay. So Final Jeopardy is we ask you, first of all, to write down on that piece of paper how much you are willing to wager of your total, right? Paul Moody has 1,700, Bokar has 1,700, Paul Peterson has 2,500. Anybody can win this game, okay? So write down how much you're willing to put at risk of your money. Then I'm going to give you the category.
So we do the money first.
The money first. It's a blind bet. It's a blind bet. This is kind of time for the music too, I think, isn't it? Thank you. Raise right. Okay, you should have had plenty of time to decide how to wager. Okay, here we go. That brings us to Final Jeopardy. Okay, we've done that. The category of Final Jeopardy is community leaders. All right. Here's your question. This person was Edina Public Schools' first African American superintendent. Good luck. Music. That's enough. We got it. Okay. All right. We will start first with Paul Moody. You have 1,700. What did you wager?
7.
1,700. He wagered it all. And what was your response, Paul?
Dr. Stanley.
Dr. Stacie Stanley, he is correct. So that moves Paul up to 3,400. Congratulations. Bokar, how much did you wager?
0.
0. And what was your response?
Dr. Stanley.
Dr. Stanley, so you also got it correct, but you win nothing. So congratulations for that. Now, our leader today is St. Paul Peterson. Paul, how much did you wager?
1,000.
1,000. Okay, and what did you respond?
Dr.
Stacie Stanley. So it looks like Paul Peterson is our winner. Congratulations to y'all.
Nice job. Congratulations. Good work.
Nice work. Thank you. All right. Thank you guys for your participation. That is going to do it for our 2025 Edina version of Jeopardy! Can I have one more round of applause for our participants? Thank you. Now, we will move on to our presentations today, but first a short surprise presentation. It's no coincidence that we had an entire Jeopardy! Category dedicated to Dr. Stacie Stanley, or made her the subject of our final Jeopardy! Question. Dr. Stanley began her career as the superintendent in 2021. Dr. Stanley had served as a variety of educational roles, including math teacher, school principal, director of curriculum, assessment, instruction, support services. Before coming to Edina, she was the associate superintendent in Eden Prairie schools. She earned a doctorate of education from Bethel University in St. Paul, where she researched the impact of intercultural development on K-6 administrative leadership practices. She is also in the doctoral program, adjunct faculty member and advisor at Bethel University, and serves on the advisory board for Hamlin School of Education. We've been lucky to have Dr. Stanley as a leader in our community for the past 4 years. Later this spring, she will leave Edina to take the helm of St. Paul Public Schools, where her love of learning was born and blossomed. For her contributions to our community, Mayor Hovland is now going to present Dr. Stanley with the key to the city. Yeah, picture time.
I didn't think I'd be the one getting weepy-eyed, but I feel like I am. She's been an unbelievable partner for us in the city of Edina, leading our students, being the most wonderful person to have around. This key to the city is yours. You can come anytime, day or night. The door, you got the key to the door. It made me think of Tim Murphy sitting back there. He always worried he had to be out of town by 10. You don't have to be out of town by 10. 'Cause he lived in Lakeville. He had to be out of town by 10. I thought you said it well, but from the time we heard that she was going home, back to where she grew up in Rondo and went to St. Paul Central, going back to help those St. Paul public schools with those wonderful leadership qualities that she has and the human qualities that she has. It's going to be a remarkable experience for St. Paul. And it's been really bittersweet for us, really bittersweet, I'd say. We've loved having her here, but we want to make sure that you are going where you want to go and doing what you want to do. And so we're with you all the way. And wish you the best in this send-off from our towns to you in St. Paul. Thank you.
Okay, now she has to speak to you all. I want to reintroduce Dr. Stacie Stanley, and she'll give the report from Edina Schools for this year. Thank you.
You know, it is rare in life that an individual gets to be part of a community that they grow to love so dearly. And I am incredibly grateful for the opportunity to have led in the community, to be part of the community. So thank you very much for that. I said to Mayor, how am I going to talk now, Mayor? I said, I'm going to cry. And he said, me too. You know, I adore you. And I'll tell you guys a little quick funny story, and I promise I won't go over. Maybe Jennifer. And so the first parade that we were in, my husband's the extrovert of the family, although I am chatty, but my husband's the extrovert. And he says to me, come here, I need to introduce you to someone. And I'm like, okay. And he said, this is the mayor. I'm like, how did you meet the mayor before I met the mayor? But do you remember that, Mayor?
Yeah, I do.
We met at the parade, and it has been such an incredible partnership. And I really, truly appreciate that. So I am here this afternoon to be able to just share with you some work that we are partnering on to make sure that we are building a healthy community. I think that yep, thank you, Jennifer. You know, in Edina, we believe in belonging. And we believe that belonging is at the core of what we do. And one of our core beliefs is that we believe in the inherent dignity of all people. We celebrate individuality, and we value and appreciate diversity. The word dignity comes from the Latin root dignus, which means worthy. And our focus on the worthiness of each and every person in Edina is what is helping us to thrive. So our vision, many of you have heard me say this so many times, our vision of Edina Public Schools is for each and every student to discover their possibilities and thrive. I cannot be more proud of my team. I have several team members who are here, principals and cabinet members, if you could stand up. Over the past 4 years, they have really, I don't know how I'm gonna make it through this. They have truly helped our vision to live within our school system and our community. Our mission for Edina Public Schools, I mean, come on, don't you love that picture? Is that Edina Public Schools is a dynamic learning community, delivering educational excellence and preparing all students to realize their full potential. We say that we do that in a few ways. Through academics and activities and opportunities, we encourage creativity, foster curiosity, and develop critical thinking skills. We support every student's educational journey by creating a caring and inclusive school culture that supports the whole student. Several years ago, work began on a portrait of a graduate, and we landed in 2022 on a portrait of a well-rounded graduate. The portrait of a well-rounded graduate, in the development of that included stakeholders who identified 6 essential skills, and those skills are to be a motivated life learner, academically prepared, a globally competent individual, a responsible and engaged citizen, an effective communicator and collaborator, and an innovative problem thinker. I'm going to highlight some of those areas with the work that we're doing. So our theme is wellness, which is an integral part of our strategic plan at Edina Public Schools. We have a whole strategic priority, C, that focuses on the wellness of both students and staff within our system. And again, our mission is to foster a caring and inclusive environment where our students and staff feel safe, both physically and emotionally, also psychologically, and in order to be fully engaged in their academic and professional, personal, and social growth. Strategy C is focused on making sure that every Hornet knows their experiences and experiences a sense of belonging in Edina Public Schools. And we do that in a variety of ways, including making certain that staff are equipped with long-term wellness strategies, and that our environments are conducive to learning, and that there's mental health supports. I'm going to talk about the supports that we are able to provide. We are grateful for the ongoing partnership with the Edina Education Fund, because they allow us to provide co-located supports. And you'll see there that between fiscal year 2021 and 2025, they contributed $438,343. That was, some of it was a partnership between the city of Edina, and some of it was certainly fundraising where each one of you committed. So I think that's something to clap about, and we appreciate it. For our internal support, we have 12 full-time social workers, we have 12 full-time psychologists, we have 14 full-time secondary site counselors, and this matches or rivals any districts in the Southwest Metro. We are incredibly proud about what we're doing to take care of our students. We partner with several community organizations. Fraser provides school-based mental health services within Edina Public Schools and is an essential partner. I want you to take a look at those numbers there. The 24-25 numbers say student service hours currently are at 2,717, and the number of students who are served are 209. That's half of the school year. If we double that, we will surpass 5,000 hours of mental health services for our students, and we will almost serve 500 students. We are incredibly proud of the work that Fraser does for us. The services include individual and family therapy, weekly consultation to staff, education and training around mental health topics to select classrooms, parents and caregivers, and school staff. We also partner with Relate Counseling to provide chemical dependency counseling services for our students. Last year, there were 109 referrals, and Relate provided 711 one-on-one sessions. The services include substance abuse counseling and age-appropriate substance abuse prevention education and health classes, and our flex sessions. The impact of our Fraser and Relate programs goes beyond the numbers. We've seen services literally transform students' lives. For students navigating the challenges of mental health and substance abuse, these testimonials highlight just how meaningful that support can be. So a student said, having access to chemical health support in school has impacted me significantly. Miss Candy helped me put words to what I was feeling and living as I navigated life with someone who struggles with addiction. Another student says, Candy welcomed me in a way that I have never experienced before. She is completely non-judgmental. I felt that no matter how my week went, I could talk about it. I finally had a safe place to talk, process, and sometimes vent. I felt completely safe and supported. Parents are also seeing firsthand how these resources are making a difference in their children's lives. One parent, reflecting on their student's experience with Relate Chemical Dependency Counseling, shared, I got my kid back. They are really back. I hadn't realized how much I missed them. Thanks, Candy. You came into our lives when we were at our lowest and supported us. You held us up sometimes and encouraged us when we didn't think we were ever going to win this battle. These stories reflect how mental health support extends beyond individual students. It strengthens families, and it strengthens the entire Edina community. When students and families thrive, our community flourishes together. We also offer grief support through Park Nicollet. And in Minnesota, over 77,000 children and teens will experience the death of a parent or sibling during their school years, highlighting the importance of providing support during these difficult times. Since 2021, the program has provided 391 student support hours, 432 group support hours, and service to over 117 students. Each year, about half of our students in the program are new, while the other half return, showing the ongoing need for support and sense of community that this program provides. Again, I want to take time to thank Edina Education Fund and Kathy Rendelman. Are you still here? She doesn't want to stand up, but I'm going to ask her to stand up. Bravo. This is vital work, and we just could not do this work without the Edina Education Fund, and so we are just so grateful to Kathy and her team. We also provide support systems for staff. I see our kids cannot be healthy unless our staff is healthy. And so our district offers a variety of resources to ensure that staff have the support that they need to thrive both professionally and personally. A few years back, hired my HR director, Sonia Saylor. And Sonia brought in an entirely different view of what human resources is supposed to be about. She put the human back in human resources, and I will forever be grateful to her for that. And she also brought on this program. All One Health is our employer-sponsored employee assistance program. It's available 24/7, 365 days a year. In 2024, 205 Edina Public Schools community members used All One Health Services. 85% were employees and 15% were their family members. Services included 500 mental health activities. 500. That's what we're doing to make sure we're taking care of our staff. Human Resources has also developed an in-person orientation process to ensure that new employees feel welcomed and that they know that they belong in Edina Public Schools. We do this because we know that belonging is the key to engagement, retention, and overall job satisfaction. HR reaches out to them 30 days after they are hired for check-ins. They reach out to them with quarterly surveys and gather feedback. And they use that information to continually improve our onboarding process and listen to them so that we can actually retain them. Our strategy B, one of the benchmarks is that we seek to hire staff who have similar lived experiences to our students. And part of the retention of that is that we've created Seeking Parity, Affinity, Respect, and Camaraderie, or what we call SPARK. SPARK is a social wellness group for Edina Public Schools staff of color. As SPARK says, relationships precede learning, and the group plays an important role in strengthening connections, ensuring that all staff feel supported and valued. We also have a wellness committee, and my director of community education and strategic partnerships is actually at a conference right now. Anne-Marie came in, and this was one of the things, when I came in, we were in the height of the pandemic and really working to take care of everyone. And when she came in, she said, Dr. Stanley, we really need to do something to make sure that we're taking care of our staff. And so our wellness committee has a goal to promote a balanced and healthy work environment while supporting the overall well-being of our staff. The committee the committee focuses on initiatives that encourage healthy habits for wellness. They increase awareness of the factors and resources that contribute to well-being. And they inspire and empower individuals to take responsibility for their own health. More than that, I say that they push their superintendent because they are consistently coming back and saying, that was great that we did that, and we need to do more. We need to do more to make sure that we are taking care of our staff and that we are retaining them. Some of the things that they've recently done is they created EPS Staff Open Fitness. This is where staff have access to free fitness spaces at the Edina Community Center. It includes yoga, light weights, resistance bands, dumbbells, and weight machines. Staff share book recommendations on topics related to mental health and social wellness, and there is an employee-run bowling league. Now, I can't bowl, but it is really fun to go there. I went, and there were 3 employees that asked me to bowl for them, and I tried to tell them, you don't want me to do that. And they're like, no, Dr. Stanley, come on, you got this. I threw 3 gutter balls, which is what I usually do. But it is so much fun to see them coming together, especially during the winter months where, you can feel kind of down. I am going to kind of hurry through some of these, but to make sure that we are focusing on culture and climate in our schools, we have built that into our continuous school improvement planning process. And so we set goals around the health and well-being of our staff. And it's not just something that we set these goals and we file them away, but it's a comprehensive process that engages staff, principals, and families to set goals, and we monitor them along the way with key indicators of progress to ensure we're on track. We have a new assistant superintendent. He's really going to hate that I'm going to ask him to do this, but Nate, can you stand up? He's really hating this right now, I'm telling you. Nate and I, we meet with our principals on a quarterly basis. Nate meets with them monthly to really make sure that we are on track with those goals, to make sure that we are keeping safe spaces. I'm going to run through just a couple of more data points here. First of all, we use a panorama survey. This is a survey that's nationally normed. In our survey that we do this every spring, 73.5% of our 3rd through 12th graders said that they have a strong sense of belonging and well-being. 73% of staff said that they belong. That was last spring. I'm going to take this to, First of all, I want to say this is Dr. Leland and Kristen Biwan, our coach of the Lake Conference champion dance team. So let's give them a shout out. I mean, I am just amazed when I watch them. But we also use a staff engagement survey. And when I came in, I asked Sonia to really work on creating that staff engagement survey. Again, if we don't have data, we don't know, how we're doing. And we administered that in the fall, and here are some key highlights that the survey data showed us. 91% of staff said that they enjoy working with their team. 83% said that they get to use their best skills at work every day, which was an increase of 4% over last year. 86% of staff reported having someone who supports their professional growth, which was a 2% increase. And 81% of staff feel they belong at Edina Public Schools, which is a significant increase from 75%. I want to make sure that Mayor gets up here. So I'm going to pass some of the things, but you may know that we were the trailblazers with cell phone use. And this year we moved to no cell phones, kindergarten through 8th grade. And we have a modified program at the high school. It's a staggered teacher-focused teachers determine when kids are going to use their cell phones in the classrooms. And we did a survey this fall. And teachers told us there are more connections between students and advisory. Instead of listening to music with their AirPods, they talk to each other. Because our policy is not just about phones, it's about all communication devices. I feel like there's been a lot more focus and creative thought without cell phones. We are really proud of that. Our kids needed that. Oh my gosh, I could go on forever, you guys. And they put a lot in here for me to go on forever. This is what I'm just going to summarize for our belonging and wellness across the district. Student voice is really important to us. We are using grant funding. Dr. Leland has gotten nearly $4 million in grants over the past 3 years. We're incredibly proud of her. And we are using that to build up youth skills training opportunities, to build up opportunities for our students to have business individuals come into their schools and talk to them about their work experiences, for our students to have paid internships. And so we are incredibly proud about that. Our students, I am incredibly proud of their work. I do have superintendent student leadership teams, and they have put together projects that are amazing. At Southview last year, they did a heritage rally where they brought together community leaders, and they brought together dancers and musicians that just represented the community amazingly. And then at Valley View, superintendent student leadership team brought in spearheaded an initiative to take care of staff. And so staff, I'm going to put that picture up there, staff actually could order. They put in an order, and it was like a soda or a candy bar or something like that. And kids would deliver it to them, and staff just felt so appreciated. Our unified program is something I'm incredibly proud of. Bar none, we have the best unified program in the Twin Cities, and I'm incredibly proud of that. And then, gosh, look at this, 176 students, 24,051 hours of dedicated time, equating to $805,000 at a volunteer rate. I had built this in, Mayor, that I was going to say thank you at the end, but thank you so much for allowing me to lead in the community, for building the amazing relationships. I just appreciate each and every one of you, and I am always going to be cheering from you, even from across the river. I will always be cheering from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Stanley. Now we will move on to the city's portion of today. And our Mayor Hovland is going to deliver this message. Mayor Hovland joined the Edina City Council in 1997. He served in that role until he was elected mayor in 2005. Today he is Edina's longest serving mayor. He also serves as the chair of the Municipal Legislative Commission, chair of the Transportation Advisory Board to the Metropolitan Council, and chairs the U.S. Conference of Mayors Transportation Committee. He is also a member of the leadership team of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, Southwest LRT Corridor Management Committee, and the Greater MSP Partner Advisory Council. Mayor Hovland has served on the Edina Community Foundation's Board of Directors for more than 2 decades and is an active member of the Regional Council of Mayors and the Rotary Club of Edina Morningside. Please help me welcome our Mayor, Jim Hovland.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. This is quite a day. This notion that you belong, that we all belong to each other is really a fascinating one and an important one. I don't suppose when the 2 houses of Congress meet with the president tonight, they're going to play Jeopardy to kind of loosen things up a little bit, but I wish we could transport some of the spirit and the the feeling of respecting and loving each other here in this room to Washington, D.C., and make that work there as well. Besides, I got the same outfit, I think, on here. I got the same. I'm kind of glad the suit still fits. You know, and it was a little disturbing showing up with the city manager. We both had the same outfit on. It made me think of the shoes are different, but it made me think of a recent White House meeting where the president and the vice president both had the same outfit on. And I thought, okay, I won't go there. So this whole discussion by Dr. Stanley about what they're doing in the school district around mental health issues and keeping kids moving forward in a positive direction. Cities face the same issue, and it became so prevalent during COVID. I think it's where we started seeing more and more manifestation of this. And at the U.S. Conference of Mayors, too, the immediate past president was a woman named Hillary Sheevey, who was the mayor of Reno, Nevada. And she lost 2 siblings to suicide. And she made mental health her number one purpose for the U.S. Conference of Mayors 2 years ago. And now Andy Ginther, who is the mayor of Columbus, Ohio, has made transportation and affordable housing the number one concern, primarily affordable housing for the U.S. Conference of Mayors. But this issue continues to be really important nationally and in our community as well. We talked a little bit about, last night we had a meeting with the school district on just a general overview of AI. The city council and the school district with Microsoft is based here, and they're going to do some things with both the district and with us on I think on an experimental basis to help us with assimilating artificial intelligence. But it caused me to think about these joint work goals that we have, and one of them is built around mental health. And our Community Health Commission for 2025 in their work plan has the goal of exploring connections with the school district on where we can find commonalities, and those efforts will be culminating in a successful resolution of some really important things, I think, in our community that we can work on together, so that we're covering everybody in our community and the things that we need to be doing. And beyond the work that the Community Health Commission is doing, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things that we're doing, some of the things we're experiencing since COVID. And starting in 2021, we recognized it at the police department, and we decided that we would hire on a part-time basis a lone mental health person from Hennepin County named Donna. And is Donna with us today? Okay. Is she back here? Yeah. There she is. Okay. I'm going to talk about her a little bit more in a minute. But this focus around mental health started us thinking about some of the calls our police department was getting, and was the appropriate responder a police officer or somebody else. And Donna has gone from half-time here, half-time in Richfield, to full-time with us. And so this work around mental health continues, and here's the reason. You can see the chart. That in 2021 we had 313 mental health calls, and in 2022 350, 333 in 2023, and 375 in 2024. The American Psychological Association estimates that 20% of nationwide calls to law enforcement involve mental health crises. Those numbers are less in Edina, but nonetheless they are continuing to grow, and it's an important part of the work that we do in that broad spectrum of public safety. I'm going to talk about a few of the events that our folks were involved in, and last weekend we had this is the second year in a row we've had now a celebration of our Edina Police and Fire Department personnel at a banquet that gets organized by the Edina Crime Prevention Board. And at that dinner, dozens of employees were recognized for their work in 2012 or 2024, and several of the awards were related to mental health calls. I want to talk a little bit about a couple of those calls that were really critical, and you can see how difficult and dangerous a situation some of those folks were in. First of all, 2 dispatchers were presented a commendation for their work on an overnight shift on July 4th last summer. the pair received a request from Richfield Police to assist Bloomington Police with a suicidal man in his garage. When Richfield officers arrived, they were met with gunfire from the man in the driveway. The officers returned fire and the suspect retreated into his home. The dispatchers acted quickly, initiating mutual aid, to which we responded, coordinating a SWAT response and requiring drones while directing responding officers to a command post, through a command post. Their efforts culminated in the successful resolution of the incident, with the person in crisis taken into custody without any harm to him or any of the responders on the scene. And in another incident from that same month, July last year, more than 25 employees of the police and fire department in Edina and a few reserve officers were recognized for another important response that we had in July of 2024. That day, officers responded to a man who was out of control and throwing furniture around in the guest house of a property. He had previously threatened his mother with a firearm and had an active felony warrant for his arrest. Officers determined additional resources were necessary to safely take the man into custody. Members again of the SWAT team, our crisis negotiation team, the drone team, fire department, and detectives responded to assist. And after some time, the man decided to exit the residence. It was safely taken into custody without harm to himself or anyone else. And then finally, by way of illustration of the type of work that our officers are facing, on November 5th, 2024, a police officer was dispatched to locate a suicidal man. The caller said her husband told her he was going to jump off a bridge, but it was not known where he was going to do that jumping. The officer acted quickly and gathered very detailed information from her, determined that her husband was on the Lexington Bridge in Mendota Heights. The officer contacted Mendota Heights Police to check the bridge. Officers then searched the area and were able to locate the man and get him off the bridge and get him to medical care. So as I mentioned earlier, the Edina Police Department has had a Hennepin County social worker, Donna Nelson, embedded in the department since 2020. Her role has focused mostly on follow-up with people going through mental health incidents, but because calls like this are on the rise, as you saw from the data, an alternative response team, an initiative created by Hennepin County and the city of Edina, has been working since mid-2024 to address mental health calls in a new way. Edina Police Chief Todd Milburn, who is sitting back here with many of our leaders in our police department, helped form the county's first alternative response team pilot program when he worked for the city of Brooklyn Park. Milburn said he encouraged the start of a similar team in Edina due to the increase in mental health calls over the past few years. And since the Edina Dispatch Center also dispatches for the city of Richfield, Chief Milburn invited Richfield to participate as well. The new team is able to focus on responding to mental health incidents as they occur to help provide support in the moment and beyond that. The team works 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday right now, but that may not always be the case as they grow and learn from their call data. While working, they assign themselves to 911 calls with people in crisis. They're also called upon by officers and paramedics when a call would have been more beneficial for that team to handle. Recently, the alternative response team has seen a few 911 callers directly requesting their presence instead of police or fire response. The team has responded in just 2 months to 166 calls and put over 1,000 miles on their vehicle in their first 2 months on the job. The team is designed to approach mental health calls in a different way than a typical police or fire response. Police response is generally criminal in nature and fire response is medical in nature. The alternative response team aids people struggling with mental health crises by giving them the extra time and attention they need in the moment to find a solution to their immediate concern and provide resources for better outcomes in the future, all the while freeing up our police and fire folks for other calls that are more appropriately in their lane. John Brooks, where are you, John? Is he here? John, thanks. Would you stand up, please, John? John and Donna, would you stand up as well, just so you raised your hand before? John has been doing incredible work. I want to talk about John Brooks a little bit in conjunction with this alternative response team because John retired as a police or as an Edina firefighter and paramedic in 2023, but he returned to his work last year to take on the pivotal role as the first community paramedic on the alternative response team. He oversaw the implementation of the alternative response team, developed methods to track the utility and success of the program, and remained engaged in continuous improvement of the program by collecting feedback and evaluation operations. Now John is retiring again last week, but he is here today along with other members of the alternative response team. And so will you all please stand up if you're on the alternative response team so we can recognize your work. Thank you. And as Dr. Stanley talked about the effect that working with mental health situations or students in general that might be in some sort of need or crisis has an effect on those teachers and those administrators. The same thing is true with our responders, whether they're police or fire. It's a very, very difficult job, and it can be wearing on you over time and create some difficulties for our responders as well. So the city's working to provide additional resources to better support our own staff's mental health. We do that in traditional ways like having an employee assistance program, but we're also trying to be creative in our support. We have mental health checkup programs for police and fire staff, and we also have Lou. Do we have a picture of Lou up there? Yeah. Lou's a woodle. And I wasn't sure, I asked if Lou was going to be here today, and they said they weren't sure because Denny Metzel, the former mayor, retired from the Crime Prevention Fund after 30-some years of doing some great work there. And they had a big sheet cake for him, and Lou decided that was a good cake for him, too. So Lou got up on the table, apparently, and got after the cake pretty well. So I wasn't sure whether Lou was going to be here or not. But we're happy to have Lou here. The Heart of American Woodles donated the therapy dog to the police department. As I said, his name is Lou, and an organization called Soldier 6 donated money for training him and his handler, Detective Morgan Piper. And Morgan's been with us for a number of years, and she just does a terrific job in everything that she does in for our city and in her role in our police department. So, Detective Piper, thank you. Lou, thank you for doing the work that you do. And you may eventually see Lou out in the field, I think, making some of these mental health calls, maybe with Donna and other folks in the alternative response team as we go forward, trying to make sure that people feel as safe as they can possibly feel and as protected as they can possibly feel in our town. So, you know, police and fire aren't the only employee groups in Edina that come face to face with mental health crises or added stress to their jobs. Even our park and recreation staff and our risk and safety manager have completed site and building evaluations for threats and are reviewing a draft response plan for operational impacts for potential larger scale events. The city is also training all full-time staff throughout the organization on de-escalation techniques through a program we call ROAR and Restore. ROAR is an acronym for Recognize, Observe, Assist, and Refer or Report. Restore is an acronym for Reflect, Eat, Sleep, Talk, Organic, Resilience, and Exercise. I think we can all use the Restore model. Research indicates that mental health stigma is generally improving, so communities are increasingly coming together to help each other out in this particular area. In 2023, the U.S. Surgeon General issued an advisory declaring loneliness and isolation to be an epidemic. Advisories are reserved for significant public health challenges that require the nation's immediate awareness and action. A program called Start With High, a public awareness campaign to increase social connection, was commenced in Bloomington, Edina, and Richfield as a result of that advice and the bulletin issued by the U.S. Surgeon General. The campaign was created in response to growing mental health concerns in our community, both locally and nationally. The campaign kicked off in Bloomington in November of 2024, but staff is working in all three communities to increase awareness about the impact of social isolation and loneliness on health, providing residents with simple and effective tools to increase connectedness and inspiring the community to take collective action to support a culture of togetherness. We have some of the staff from the Bloomington Public Health Department here today. If you're here from Bloomington Public Health, would you please stand up? Yeah? Oh, there we go. There we go. And they've been instrumental in the city of Edina in helping us with this program. So thanks for being here today. Besides saying hi and acknowledging passerbys, how can you get involved? You can attend the Start With High event at one of the three communities, post a video or a picture of yourself on social media with a message encouraging others to connect with someone
using a simple hi or a smile. Use the hashtag # start with hi. Take the former Surgeon General's 5 for 5 connection challenge, and the cards are right on the desk, right on the table that you've got in front of you there. We're also working to make sure Edina remains welcoming through all the work we are currently doing to create an equity strategic action plan. Such a plan will better inform our city's goals of creating an inclusive and welcoming community with one that has minimal barriers to city programs, services, and policies that benefit the Edina community. And we're being led in that work by Thomas Brooks. I thought I saw Thomas earlier. Where's Thomas? All right, Thomas, stand up, please. Yeah. Thomas and I had the pleasure of being 2 Saturdays ago at the Edina Asian American Alliance celebration of Lunar New Year, and had some good conversations there with all of the kids that are involved in that alliance and their parents. By developing an Edina Equity Strategic Action Plan, the City of Edina will be better equipped to create and uphold city processes that address the needs of community members. Staff will learn more about those living and working in Edina and their priorities through data collection and direct engagement, helping to create a more inviting and open city. Much of the data collection was through a survey conducted last month, and hundreds of city staff and community members completed the survey for us. You know, in January of this year at the U.S. Conference of Mayors meeting, we had some final goodbyes from some of the folks in the present administration, including the president. But the person that I was most struck with was Surgeon General Vivek Murthy, who served 2 terms. And he was making his last public appearance as Surgeon General of the United States at that U.S. Conference of Mayors meeting. Murthy worries about our youth. And Murthy worries greatly about the effect of social media on our children. The need to matter, he said, in a world of constant comparison is adversely affecting the lives of so many young people. That pressure of constant comparison, coupled with what Murthy calls or believes is the misplaced pursuit of the triad of fame, wealth, and power that permeates the internet as a goal for our children, needs to be replaced by what he calls the triad of fulfillment, namely service, purpose, and relationships. These 3 virtues, service, purpose, and relationships, are also the core pillars of a true community. I see the dedication in those virtues in Edina every single day, from both people and organizations and from all of you in this room. When I think of the years ahead for our town, I first think not about things such as land use or growth patterns, infrastructure, or park improvements, but I think about the importance of maintaining and enhancing the commitment to what Surgeon General Murthy called that triad of fulfillment. Such a commitment will not only build a stronger, more well-connected community, it will also have the positive effect of modeling what is important for our children and positively impact their self-esteem and health in both mental and physical ways. If we all put people of every age first, we can have a profound effect on the lives of each other. Leading with love and compassion for others will be an investment in each other, ourselves, and our community, in a world seemingly intent on creating differences and distinctions between people, and attempting to divide us through misinformation and disinformation. Grounding ourselves in service, purpose, and relationships will also guide us in maintaining civility and respect towards each other as we advance our community toward unity and not disharmony. One of our city goals, Better Together, constantly fostering an inclusive and engaged community, and this can be done so effectively in our town and in our schools by having purpose, serving others, and building relationships. Even, and maybe especially, as we think about our future and designing a framework for guiding not only development, redevelopment, and enhancement, we should keep striving to create a model of a successful nature and progressive urban community that leads in a modern and evolving world. We should keep, as our foundation for all that we do, a commitment to that triad of fulfillment the next 4 years and beyond, because that constant dedication to service, to purpose, and to building relationships will serve all of us and our community so well for generations to come. Thanks for being here today. And I think, are we going to do anything else from a wrap-up standpoint? Okay, that's it. Those are our thoughts on how to make our community an ever better place. We appreciate all of you being here. We feel like we know everybody in this room. Everybody in this room knows everybody else in this room, I think. If you don't, make sure you introduce yourself on the way out. And let's all remember that theme of the day today. What was it? Being better together. Thank you.